Welcome, everybody. It's exciting for me because last night was the big opening night premiere of the festival, and I didn't get to go because I have to sit in an office and help my colleagues with some articles. But now I'm at a big world premiere of a special sort. Kurdistan's coming out to the world stage of cinema, and I wanted to start with His Excellency, who's traveled in to basically bring the message to the world that Kurdistan is open for film business. And I wanted to ask you, you coming here, I take as a sign of commitment, a sign of conviction. Tell us a little bit about the vision you have for Kurdistan as a filming location, and what can people expect?
Well, thank you, George, and thanks to the audience for attending and for having us here. We're very excited to be here. It's my first time to come to the Cannes Film Festival, and I can tell you I've spoken on many panels in many countries on many topics, but I have to think, in terms of beauty, this is the most beautiful panel I've ever sat on. So thank you all for arranging this here. When you think of Kurdistan, right, most people will think about war. They'll think about, if you're a little older like me, you'll probably remember chemical weapons attacks of the 1980s. You'll think about the devastation that happened. You'll think about migration and refugees. There's a lot of history about Kurdistan, and our people have gone through a lot. But I'm here to tell you that there's another side to Kurdistan. And there's an exciting side to Kurdistan. There is an opportunity now, with the launch of the Kurdistan Film Commission, to show another side of Kurdistan. One, its natural beauty. Two, the opportunity to film in Kurdistan, to create in Kurdistan. We are a very artistic culture. Art has always been the medium for us to tell our story. And now, with Bavi's dynamism, with the opportunities that we have, we're very, very excited to announce that Kurdistan is open to film in, and our beautiful locations are open for you all to see. And we look forward to hosting you all in Kurdistan. So thank you for this opportunity.
Well, I found it fascinating because, the film commission, Slemani, I had to research and see how much of a cultural center Slemani is. Tell us a little bit about this, because you have obviously a lot of history there.
Sure. Well, Slemani is the cultural capital of Kurdistan, and probably I would say the cultural capital of all of Iraq. It's a very dynamic city with, again, the budding artist community, a lot of people expressing their rights, expressing their opinions. It is also a slightly rebellious culture as well, and that adds to the beauty of the art, and that adds to the expression. So for the Kurdistan Film Commission to be launched from Slemania is actually really, really fitting. And it's an opportunity for us to diversify what Kurdistan is. Again, it's not just about politics, it's not just about oil, it's about art, it's about cinema, it's about movies, it's about documentaries, it's about, again, telling our story and telling future stories in this beautiful format. So, again, we're really, really excited.
Now, I must say, I remember that when I first talked to Bavi, she mentioned how you were so immediately excited about this vision. But I know that Bavi had a very long personal journey. You originally, you grew up in Belgium, right? Tell the people who might not know much about you, like how you came to believe in this vision of Kurdistan as a film location, and how you ended up here on stage in Cannes.
Well, George, I indeed grew up in Belgium, and for the first time when I saw Kurdistan was end of 2013, when I got my master degree in filmmaking and production in Belgium. That was the first time I went back to Kurdistan, and I immediately remembered every intern jobs that I did in Belgium, which was at the fund and at production companies. And I saw so many talented people, far more talented than myself, that were there trying to make their films. And then every time I asked about a systematic or sustainable institutions to carry this industry, they were saying and telling me there's none. So my first question was, do we have a fund? Do we have a commission? Do we have an institution? I'm not saying that there is nothing. With the little that there is, the young filmmakers did their absolute best to make films, to travel with their product, with their productions. But to me, it was, we cannot build an industry if we don't have a sustainable system that can carry this industry. And Kurdistan, we have everything that can build a very solid film industry, an audiovisual industry. I think Marsh can talk much more about what a film commission is than myself. But that's the first time I got the idea. In 2014, I went back to Belgium and I told my mom, you know what, I'm gonna move back to Kurdistan. And bless her heart, but she almost got a heart attack. She was like, you just graduated. You're not gonna go anywhere. You're gonna stay right here. But I packed my bag and I moved and I saw Nowruz, which is the Kurdish New Year, in March 2024 for the first time. And it was so beautiful. I saw the green mountains, which I saw full of snow when I first saw it in January. So I was like, oh my God, we have 4 seasons and we are in the Middle East. We have greenery mountains, we have waterfalls, but we also have snow and we have dry land and we have sandstorms. We need a commission. So that's how it started. And the first time when I was telling people, I was the most crazy human being walking in Kurdistan, because Kurdistan was at that time, 2014, we were dealing with ISIS a few kilometers away from us. And we were dealing with a lot of political matters and issues. And the country, let us be honest, and as His Excellency mentioned, has been known for war. So there was this crazy lady who just graduated and came back from Europe and said, oh, we need film industry. So when I first met him and I said, you know what, we have oil, I know. We have real estate, I know that too. But we need an industry, film industry. And probably he thought, oh no, another crazy one.
Is that what he thought, His Excellency?
There's a little bit of, I mean, crazy was not the right word. I was like, what? Bavi, what? What are you talking about? But she's very, very persistent and persuasive. Yes. And after many discussions, she laid out the vision, and we're here today.
Nice.
And also, just to mention a few small details, I didn't want us to start an institution or organization that will die out when we are not involved in it anymore, because that's what's been happening for many, many years. I'm not going to do this forever. Someone will replace me. And take this job and make it even greater. So that's why the research time for building this took around 6-7 years. The lobbying for it, the promotion for it, for inviting experts to Kurdistan, for traveling the world and trying to talk to producers, film studios, if I was really crazy or it was really something doable. And when I got the reassurance from every person I've met, I said, okay, now we can do it. And that's why we started doing it for real. And before you go to my lovely colleagues, I want to also mention something that I'm very, very proud to announce. The Film Commission is starting to offer our services to the international film industry, which are complementary location scouting from A to Z with protocol, security, location scouters, research, production and cultural consultation, because I'm very, very keen on representation and right representation of dialects, of casting, etc. But we also are working on our capacity building programs, which is the closest to my heart, because that is when and how we're going to build this industry. We will have back-to-back capacity building programs that I hope to work with major educational institutions. I'm just looking at Amanda for a hint. But also, I would like to say one more thing, is I believe in one fact, is we cannot do this alone. And I'm very, very keen on being realistic. We have great neighbors who have done absolutely an amazing job, like Jordan. And I really look up to them. And it is nice to see that film commissions they don't have to be gigantic big competitors. They can work together in capacity building programs and in incentive programs and co-production 3D programs. And that is the beauty of this industry, that other sector might divide us, but this industry can bring us together. And one more thing that I would like to announce, because that's his favorite part, is that a flagship initiative of the Film Commission is the Suli Film Fund. And this is a major thing for me, extremely emotional, but for him it was his idea. He said, we're not going to have funds. I said, if you want, of course we're going to have funds. It is to support Kurdish films, Kurdish filmmakers, and this is the first film fund in the whole of Kurdistan region. And I hope, I'm not going to look at him, but I'm going to say it, I hope we increase the number of funding each and every year. We bring the number up to a gigantic big number, because the bigger...
You're going to announce something.
No. The bigger the number, the more films we can support. So I'm very, very glad, and the doors are open. We will announce the rules and regulations and all the categories as soon as we can get into it. And also, it is important that we also realize that our doors are also open to work with the Iraqi part, who also have a pavilion here. And those are our colleagues. Yes, and he's sitting here.
There's a colleague right there. Yeah.
I truly, truly believe in working together toward the greater good, which is a beautiful, sustainable film industry in the whole of region.
Nice. That, His Excellency, anything you want to add on the fund? I think it's so early that we probably can't mention any numbers, any other
Bavi said it
details,
so
right?
eloquently, but I will just like to thank some of the Kurdish investors who are here as part of our delegation. And for them, this is new, because they've always been interested in investing in oil and investing in real estate and investing in big projects. And now they're getting to see another opportunity where it's not just, yes, it's promoting the arts, but it's creating an industry. It's boosting our economy. The number of jobs that this could create, the number of opportunities that this could create, the way that this could help us wean off oil as a source of revenue and government employment as a source of employment. So, yes, you know why you're here, guys. We love you.
Now, I also know why March is here, because I have a question for you, March. We're hearing Kurdistan now has a film commission. How many places in the world that are not an official separate country have a film commission that are members of your organization?
It's hard to know exactly how many are not do not have an official film commission, but I think something that's important to highlight: when a region has a film commission, you know that you're working with qualified people that are there to provide a service, to help you find your locations, to help you get your permits, to help you complete your production properly and efficiently and cost effectively. Those locations that don't have a film commission, producers often have to rely on production service companies, and I don't want to badmouth them because they're very important, but it's not always easy to know who is an authentic and reputable company. So when you have a film commission, you know you're working with solid people. And I think Bavi said something really important too, that's worth stressing and further emphasizing. It's a selfless business. It's a business about making something that is sustainable into the future. to provide a really solid foundation. And Bavi's worked really hard, spent a lot of time asking a lot of questions, which is important because she did things properly.
Now, March, can you think of any examples of where a film commission helped put a place on the international map? Because I think when I keep hearing to the vision here, it's also partly to help tell Kurdish stories and maybe bring some people to the Kurdish narrative, so to speak.
I knew you were going to ask this question, and I thought about it, and it's a really tough position to be in. AFCI represents the global film commission industry, so we have members all over the world. So it's hard for me to pinpoint any specific region because that creates an example and pulls one person over another. I think it's important to say that when you think about the globe, you know that there have been films shot everywhere, shot throughout Asia, shot in Australia, New Zealand, Europe, US, South America. All these areas have really solid film commissions with people that have spent years putting in dedication, working with different government challenges, leadership changes, all of that, but they still work to drive production to their regions and industries. And I think the film commissions that work best are the ones that both know what make them extremely unique, but also know what make them look like any other place in the world. You can have far more productions come to your region if you can double for New York and London and Moscow and wherever else. So I think that hopefully is a good answer to your question.
And one about tourism as well, because a couple of my friends have told me in recent weeks, oh, I watched the latest season of White Lotus. I want to go to Thailand now. Exactly. And they never thought about it before. And they're like, oh, and my wife is in too. And they're like, okay. Do you guys want to talk about whether that's an opportunity potentially?
Absolutely, with your permission. Again, Kurdistan is the natural beauty we have there is quite stunning. And as Bavi says, we have 4 seasons. We have mountain lands, we have valleys, we have plains, we have really unique wildlife as well. We have agro-tourism now, where a lot of beautiful farms are being turned into kind of B&B type setups. We are looking to attract tourism from not just Iraq, and we get millions of tourists from the rest of the country because we are mountainous. It's a little cooler, so when it's 55 degrees in Baghdad, and it does get really hot there, it is a few degrees cooler, and I tell you, at that level, 2 degrees makes a lot of difference. So we get a lot of traffic from the rest of the country. We get a lot of traffic from the region. Obviously, we have Kurds living in Iran, we have Kurds living in Syria, we have Kurds living in Turkey. So we automatically get a lot of attraction. And yeah, we get a lot of German tourists too. So the German tourists are everywhere, and they're in Kurdistan too. So one more thing, I think also we have a massive diaspora. We have Kurds living in Germany, Norway, Sweden, the UK, throughout Australia, New Zealand, anywhere you can imagine. We have a Swedish Kurd on this panel. So again, it's home, it's a magnet, and it can attract. But it's also, from a government perspective, I'm looking at it as an alternative source of revenue, right? We have industrial potential, we have agricultural potential, and we have touristic potential. And then you marry agriculture and tourism to create agro-industries. You marry tourism with filmmaking, and then you get a mirror of the two. So it's just about, when you live in our part of the world, you have to be a bit creative.
Marcia, so you were nodding along.
I wanted to just agree with you and also emphasize that film tourism is a way to dispel some of those negative connotations that were emphasized at the beginning of the panel. So when people become fans of content, regardless of what that content is, they get eager to visit the location of the content, and they get exposed to the culture and the richness of the region. So I just wanted to highlight how valuable that is as well.
Thanks. Now, Amanda, I want to move on to you. Your company is a partner of the Marché here in Cannes. You do a lot of education, mentorship-related things. Talk a little bit about how important that is, because when I keep listening to the plans for the Kurdistan Film Commission, I keep hearing skills transfer and development and things like this. How important is kind of mentorship, partnerships, education in kind of driving what a film commission can do for a production industry?
It's a great question, and what Bavi talked about earlier, I can't agree with you more. For those who aren't familiar with Stage 32, we're an online platform with over 1.3 million members. We are the largest online platform that connects and educates both creatives and professionals in the entertainment industry. And one of the great benefits of Stage 32 is that we are very, very passionate about education, as Bavi is. And so one of the great things about that is that we have over 3,500 hours of entertainment industry education. And we've cultivated that for the last 14 years. And so one of the great things about that is that we have education partners like Netflix, and we've been partners with the Marché for, I think it's been now 10 years. And one of the most exciting things with the evolution of that is that that's evolved into certified education. So one of the things that we have rolled out over the last 12 months is that we've now been certifying both film and television creatives, and we're now working with over 50 film commissions around the world. So we're looking to hopefully work with Kurdistan to help certify talent to support productions that come to the area.
And I'm going to put you on the spot. Ediana, you mentioned a couple of figures. Any other stats or data that you can mention that shows the power of education and mentorship in developing a burgeoning production hub?
Well, sure. Our partnership with Netflix, we actually, there's over 300,000 people that have taken our education that we did with Netflix. And now through our certification, we're actually working with over 50 film commissions, and that's been over the last 12 months.
Amazing. Bavi, His Excellency, this...
It's very exciting for us because we do have great directors. We have great producers. We have a Kurdish director with us here in Kaksham, but it's been a hobby in Kurdistan when people have gotten into, and in Iraq, throughout the country, when people have gotten into film, they've gotten into it. It's become like a hobby. It doesn't sustain their livelihoods. It is not a source of revenue for the actors, for the producers, for the directors, for the light technicians. It's so we need to transfer it from a hobby into a profession, from a hobby into an industry, and that requires a degree of skill that just goes beyond wanting to make a film or wanting to act, and having more qualified people that are certified with partnerships with reputable institutions like yours will switch that student from thinking this is just something fun to do to them thinking, well, hang on, I could make a career out of this, and who knows, one day I'll be in Cannes walking on the red carpet and
Yes, very true.
Right?
No. One person who has made a career out of this, Cardo, I've seen you in Netflix projects and other things. I think I told you earlier. I saw Rheingold. Yeah. You've done Peacemaker, other things. Talk a little bit about, for you as an actor who lives in Sweden, but has like the Kurdish heart beating. How exciting is it to have the film commission? What kind of opportunities do you see? And maybe Amanda, do you ever think about leveraging somebody who's not living there right now and his skill back to the homeland, so to speak?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we work with the top talent to be teaching for us. I mean, we have, for example, in our certification program, we have the head of Paramount Accounting that's teaching our production accounting certification courses. And so she's put together the testing that, that go through the program. But, we love working with people who are currently active in doing it at the highest level, and that's who's teaching for us and training the people that are taking our education. So absolutely.
That would be wonderful.
Come teach for us. It's on.
Sure.
Welcome.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to say, to me, this moment is a great deal to me, because for years, Kurdish stories were missing from the screens that I was watching growing up. And to have the honor to experience this historic moment that could change that, that's incredibly powerful. And as a Kurdish artist who was raised and built his career in Sweden, I've always felt the weight, the responsibility of telling stories that felt true, to where I came from. And Kurdish cinema has largely been sustained through personal sacrifice. Films have been made with passion, yes, but also relentless sacrifice, scrapping for resources and fighting to be heard. So what's happening now with this commission is historic, because now we have a real support system who empowers Kurdish filmmakers to tell their stories the way they want to, and without compromise. And I have to say, this wouldn't have been possible without His Excellency, because he saw that this was important, and he saw many didn't, but he did, and he made it happen. And of course, with Bavi. So, yeah, I mean, it's incredibly. I think I have a lot of emotions inside of me. It's beautiful. I'm extremely happy. I believe that this commission will continue to grow, because cinema is not just entertainment. It's a soft power. It shapes the way the world sees us, but more importantly, how we see ourselves. And I think we're not just here to participate in this global film industry. We're here to define our place in it. So this is it's beautiful, and I'm really happy about it.
Have you heard from any of your fellow members of the Kurdish diaspora, people living elsewhere, saying, "Oh my God, now I can maybe go back, film"? Oh, sorry, my mic dropped off. I was wondering if you've heard from any fellow members of the Kurdish diaspora, people who live abroad, thinking about, oh, maybe now I'll go back, help tell a story back home.
Of course. I mean, even I felt that. So yeah, definitely.
Well, we hope we see you on the Cannes red carpet in a couple of years, maybe, if all goes well.
Thank you.
I know we have to wrap this up, but I wanted to maybe see if His Excellency could, to wrap things up, send us home with some of the final words on the vision, the hope, the inspiration, and then I'll let everybody maybe come up to you guys and chat up and ask any more questions in person.
Well, again, I just want to thank everybody for making this happen. Everything has been said in terms of, this is our vision. We want to create an industry, and we want to create an opportunity not just to tell our story, but also for others to tell their story in our lands. Right? That's one. We've got this irrepressible Bavi that she will not stop until it happens. She will break through walls and doors, and she has done to make this happen. But to also to partner with others and learn from others is, we're very excited to do that. And we've talked about the education side of it. We've talked about the artists themselves, and we've got amazing, like the Jordanians that we can learn a lot from. The partnership we have with Iraq, and again, it's about transcending political issues too, right? We shouldn't politicize film. We shouldn't politicize the arts. And if politicians don't get along, that's fine. Let's have artists get along, and we can do in a soft power, a track 2 or track 3 process to get things done and get people to work together and share their dreams together and share their visions together. So for me, this is it's much more holistic than just a film. It's 360 degrees, and it's very exciting, and it's very proud. And I have to say, I've going through the facilities yesterday, and when I saw the booth, when I saw the Kurdistan, Film Commission booth, I couldn't have been more proud, right? Because I remember when I first started working in politics and in governance, it was around 99, and we had a meeting at the UN. And they didn't even let us in the building. We had to meet outside. And eventually they took us on a tour, and I saw all these flags. I saw hundreds of flags, hundreds of countries. And I was looking for mine. I was like, where's the Kurdish flag? It wasn't there, right? So if we can get that flag represented in other ways, non-political ways, non-threatening ways, right, through art, I can retire. I can sit back and watch good films made in Kurdistan.
Well, I think that wraps it up perfectly. And I would say anybody looking to talk to our wonderful panelists, thank you for the distinguished guests here on stage, and hope you have a lovely rest of the festival, everybody.